Yo, Daniel, let her rip.
Yes, the rip.
The
Uh,
rip, which is a bit of terminology that I do not believe they ever actually explain in the movie.
I don't believe they did. No. Um, yes. This is a Netflix original movie starring Matt Damon
Matt Damon?
and his old buddy Ben Affleck, amongst a cast of other actors. They of course playing. I gotta look up their. I gotta look at their character names.
So, uh, Lieutenant Dane Dumars is Matt Damon,
Yeah,
and Ben Affleck is Detective Sergeant J.D., and then it
Burn.
trails off.
Yeah, JD Byrne. I think that's right. Byrne. Yeah, Byrne. Yeah. Um, yeah, and they play a couple of Miami narcotics cops, and they work on this tactical team that's goes around and busts all these different drug spots throughout Miami. Um, but they have a situation because the inciting incident, their captain, who's a woman, Jackie was her first name. I can't remember what her last name was. Jackie Velez. Um, she's on the phone with a woman. A young woman. We don't know who she is or what's going on. But then she pulls off, and then she gets ambushed and shot. But just before she dies, she sends a text message to somebody and tosses her phone into the water. And of course, we cut to Damon and Affleck and the rest of the team dealing with this, dealing with the fallout. And they're being interviewed or interrogated by a couple of FBI agents. One of them is FBI agent Del Byrne, who is Ben Affleck's younger brother. He's played by Scott Atkins, who a little bit of trivia. Scott, for those of you who don't know, Scott Atkins is a British actor. He's also a big martial arts guy. And if whenever this was, like 10-ish years ago, 12-ish years ago, he actually auditioned to play Batman in the DCEU, but he didn't get the part. Instead, they gave it to Ben Affleck. So now they're both playing. Now they're playing brothers in this movie.
So,
But
and that isn't the only DC EU connection there.
right, yeah. So
But we'll hit that character in a minute.
right, yes, yeah. So as they're dealing with all this fallout, and then Damon sees the text message that he got from the captain talking about this stash house, and he gets the location. Even though they're told they can't do anything by their superiors, they still go out and check on it anyway. Um, and of course, during the whole thing, Damon is Damon's acting very cagey during this during the whole thing, and he, all the different members of the team ask him, like, well, how much money is in this stash house, and he tells each of them a different amount, and there's a reason for that.
Yep, and let's see. All right, so get there, find the stash of money.
Yeah.
Now, you had some issues with the amount of money they quoted.
Yeah. So yeah, they show up at the house, and the other DCEU connection is the young woman who's living in the house. It's her grandmother's house, and her name is Desi, and she's played by Sasha. Was it Calais or Callie?
Probably Kaye, I would assume.
Okay, Kaye. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and she was Supergirl in The Flash.
Which, if you haven't seen her before, well, not a lot of people went and saw the Flash actually, so that tracks.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so they go in, they find the money, and the money's in all these like buckets, like Home Depot buckets, and they're looking at the amounts. They're like, oh, there's like $20 million in here. I'm like, ugh. No freaking way.
Right.
No freaking way. There's $20 million in there. Maybe two. If you
the
pack it
bundles
really
they had,
tightly. Yeah.
like maybe if they like used some sort of air compressor to suck it out, like suck all the air out, but that is not what we were looking at there. They were pretty compressed down, but still.
Yeah. I mean, they take out one little packed up stack and it says 150K. I'm like, it's maybe 10. Like, come on. Like, by the way, this isn't the only Hollywood movie that has ever pulled this. I mean, like every movie in Hollywood does that, where they don't understand just how much space cash takes up. A lot of cash. Like, they don't like. You have a movie where they open up the briefcase. It's full. This little briefcase full. With stacks of cash. Here it is. $5 million as we agreed to. Like, that's not $5 million. It's not even $50,000.
Maybe if they had a whole bunch of those old school $1,000 bills, they could get somewhere like that. But
yeah, maybe, yeah, but
yeah,
anyway,
no, it's kind of silly.
But yeah, the rest of the movie is basically just them. Number one, they got to count out all of the money and then figure out like, okay, well, who owns the house or whose money does it belong to? And they
Right.
got this whole other subplot where there was this group of law enforcement guys who were going around these stash houses and stealing money, and they're trying to figure out like, well, are they involved somehow? And none of the cops trust each other, and
Right. If this was an ongoing TV show, this would be the bottle episode where almost the whole thing takes place at the one house.
yeah,
Very claustrophobic. Very everybody's very untrustworthy, and they have quite a few twists and turns on who's actually who is on whose side.
right, yeah.
Now,
Yeah,
I think that as far as like actual plot details go, that's as far as we can get without getting into spoiler territory.
yeah.
Since my overall take on this is that this is a perfectly okay movie. I could see why they didn't try to put this out in theaters, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, I can see why I understand that too. Yeah, because it's a serviceable enough movie. And there are worse ways to spend a couple of hours of your time.
Right.
Uh,
And Affleck and Damon talked about this, where it does kind of follow the Netflix mandate, where you have to be able to follow the movie while looking at your phone,
right.
because they do
Yeah.
push the plot pretty often.
Yeah, and now that they pointed that out, I'm not going to be able to unsee that on anything from Netflix ever again. Like, I'm going to be spotting that for the rest of time.
Right. It's almost more refreshing when you find something that doesn't fit that requirement.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfectly serviceable. I'd call it like a home, or not a home run. Excuse me. It's a single.
Yeah.
I would say it's of similar quality to Ben Affleck's The Accountant.
Mm.
Kind of a similar vibe to it.
Yeah.
It's much less silly.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Ben Affleck's not hitting anybody with his belt.
Right. He's not beating himself for sensory deprivation or whatever.
Right.
Or sensory stimulation, I should say.
Yeah.
There are a couple of twists and turns. I think if I'd been more engaged, I would have probably seen the ending coming. But it was just kind of all right the whole way through.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
No bad performances. Well, okay. I don't. So this script was very plain, is the way I'd put it. Like the dialogue wasn't very clever in most places. There were like a couple of bits between Damon and Affleck that made me chuckle a little bit, but
Yeah.
um, the other detectives on the squad, boy, they just kind of came off as like very reductive stereotypes.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, even the Asian one.
Right. He actually had a storyline.
Yeah.
Key part of the story. So I think that we're giving it a narrow recommend. Just like there are better things to watch on Netflix, but yeah, if you want something to talk about at the office, this was number one its opening weekend, so
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of spoiler talk.
Yes.
I find it just so funny how predictable Netflix is. Because I was thinking to myself halfway through the movie, there's no way they're gonna have the Black and Latina cops be dirty on this. Like are they sticking to that? That's wow, that's surprising.
Yeah.
The answer was no.
No, no, and although they did a pretty good job of trying to make you think that maybe they would.
Yeah, like they did a pretty good job of swerving the plot a bit.
Yeah.
And they managed to take a detail of Damon giving everybody a different number, making him look shady. Yeah. And when it's actually it's a classic leak finding procedure where it's like, somebody in my organization keeps talking to the press. I'm going to tell everybody a slightly different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and in this case, it works for him, because he tells the Asian detective is played by Steven Yeun, who most people remember from The Walking Dead. He was also the voice of Keith on the Voltron remake. And he's also the voice of Invincible on Invincible. Actually, he's probably more well known for his voice acting than his regular acting. Now that I think about it, but yeah, and spoiler, yeah, it turns out that he's the one, he's the dirty one, he's the bad guy he's working with the bad guys to take the money.
Yeah, I will say that they managed to make everything pretty plausible, because the actual guilty party shows up with way too small of way too small of a team for an operation like this. He says, "Hey, I don't have the budget." It's like that sounds plausible on the surface, but
but I mean, but it's like, yeah, but you got $20 million in cash. You might want to have you need like an army of people, like, to handle that.
Yep. They also do a good job of really making you think that Matt Damon's character is dirty, and they really like give you a solid motive for why he'd be dirty, because he was still paying off the medical bills from his child's death, and they just went out. Everybody in the squad had money issues of some sort or another.
Yeah, the Latina detective was a single mom. I think even Affleck was having money issues, and
right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and they even kind of get into that a little bit, where these, because cops, by and large, like depending on what jurisdiction they work in or what job they do, they really don't get paid as much as they probably should be being paid.
Yeah, it did remind me of an old strategy, like, maybe the reason that government employees are so overpaid is to take away the desire to take bribes.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But
it's necessarily effective, but it's a strategy.
It's a strategy, and and of course, you'll still have the odd person here or there who will take a bribe, no matter how much you get paid. But yeah, and they did a pretty good job too of Damon kind of playing the situation out to find out who the mole is and catch him in the act, so to speak. The other thing too I thought was kind of funny was they're counting the money out in the garage.
Yep.
And the garage is full of old phone books. Which, DB, when was the last time you saw a phone book?
Probably at least 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was 10, maybe 15 years. Yeah, it's been a long time. So it just very
right. They did establish that Kaye's grandmother had been a hoarder. So
yeah. But yeah, just lucky for them that they had those phone books because it came in handy for them during the climax.
And a car that had enough gas to get somewhere.
Yeah. But what else did I say?
I would say I don't have a whole lot to say about it because it's just a single. They didn't strike out, which would have given us some more grist for our mill, but it's just an entirely ordinary action movie.
Yeah.
Which, sometimes that's fun.
Yeah.
You don't always need to have a deep plot or Oscar-worthy performances or things like that.
No, you just need something to occupy your time for a couple hours. And,